Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Silver Cross Field in Joliet. Metamora and Lemont in the Class 3A semifinal, and Lemont has just brought the hit machine, and they lead 4-2. We're really coming on horseback. It is my fault, and with that being the case, my partner riding shotgun, Mark Farina, will take us through the first 3 innings. Mark, take it away.
Well, it is a 4-2 Lemont Indians lead over the Metamora Redbirds. Metamora jumped out quickly in the top of the first inning, scoring 2 runs thanks to a RBI triple by Brady Fairfield, the number 2 hitter, and then a ground out by Brendan Natry that drove in the second run. And you thought, well, this could be trouble for this Lemont Indians ball club, but no. They came back with a total of 5 straight hits, the first 5 batters with hits, aided by a couple of miscues in the outfield by the center fielder and right fielder. And they've got a 4-2 lead. So much for a shutout, no-hitter, perfect game, anything like that. If the trend continues, we may be here for a long time.
We may be here a while.
But
we may be here a while.
Of course, Mike Papersky, well, we've heard that name before. He had a big 2-run single in the first inning, also came around to score. So 4-2, 4 runs, 6 hits so far for Lemont. 2 runs on just that 1 hit, that second batter triple that drove in a run. Grounder to the shortstop. Infield Grass makes the throw to first for out number 2. So the Indians will bat around here in the first inning, scoring 4 runs. And on the play, Nick Wiz moves on over to third. And over to second is Eric Tucker, who drove in the 4th run in this inning. Terrazas with an RBI, Eric Tucker with an RBI. And, of course, we talked about that 2-run single by Mike Papersky that started the floodgates for Lemont, at least in the terms of RBIs here in the bottom of the first.
And this is a good hitting Lemont team. We talked about them before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no question about it. Charlie Wright struggled primarily his first 3 batters. He walked the first one, gave up that booming triple to dead center field that drove in the first run, and he also walked the 3rd batter. But after that, he was able to get out of the inning with 3 groundouts, helped by some good defense. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Jamie Glista. And from the stretch, the pitch by Alex Lewis. Ground ball, shortstop up with it. He'll have an easy throw to first in time to retire the side. But 9 batters bat for the Lemont Indians in the first inning. They score 4 on 6 hits. There were at least 1 error and 2 men left. We'll stay here. 4-2 the score. The Lemont Indians leading the Metamora Redbirds by here after the end of 1 inning of play. And a lot of action so far. I mean, we're kind of expecting more of a pitcher's duel. We have got quite the opposite.
6 hits in the inning for Lemont. 5 of them came in succession. Let's quickly go through our lineups. They go like this for the Red Blades of Metamora. Peyton Biernet is the leadoff man. He's in right field. Brady Fairfield bats second at second. Ethan Skender bats third at short. Drew Beenders bats 4th. He's at first base. Brendan Natry bats 5th. He's in left field. Caleb Brackbill bats 6th. He's at third base. Jacob Guidi bats 7th. He'll catch. Jeremy Guerrero bats 8th. He's the DH. And Zach Tyler bats 9th. He is in center field. Alex Lewis on the mound for the Redbirds. Through the Lemont defense, you want to take care of that, Mark?
I'll take Lemont defense, looking at their defense left to right. Jamie Glista in left. The center fielder, Ryan Folliard, and Eric Tucker's in right. Infield, third to first of Mike Ralla at third. The shortstop, Nick Wiz. Over at second is Mike Wiz is at short. Nick Wiz is at second. And over at first is Jake Terrazas with your rotation starting pitcher, Charlie Wright, the left-hander, and your starting catcher, of course, the all-star Mike Persky.
We go to the second, and from the overhead line, Charlie White delivers way outside for ball 1. Good stop by Papersky. And I'm going to put myself on blast here. It's not bad when you miss 1 train to get to a site. It's bad when you miss 2 of them in succession. The 1-0 low, 2 balls, no strikes. Well, I am totally at fault.
But you also had connecting trains from where you're coming from, so that
that
can happen. Believe me, it happens even to the best of commuters. It allows me to tease and berate you the whole weekend.
Oh, look. we do it to each other all weekend anyway. The 2-0, swing and a miss, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We, of course.
This is our second straight year being here in Joliet, right? The overhead wind of the 2-1, swinging a bouncing ball up the third baseline, foul, and the count's even at 2-2.
And the good news is I don't think we'll be hearing any squeegee sounds. We're not in the smaller booth, which they've got 2 broadcast booths here, but they are rather, let's just say, tight. You got more room to maneuver out here.
And we're going to have some great crowds all weekend.
And the weather's perfect.
We're going to have some great crowds all weekend. Right is ready from the overhead wind, the 2-2 pitch. Fastball low, and the count goes full at 3-2.
In that 2-run first inning, he walked the first batter, Peyton Burnett, and then it was Brady Fairfield with a booming triple to center field.
Swung on and hit toward left, dropping. Fair ball into the corner. Headed for second is Jacob Guidi. He will stand up with a leadoff double, and here we go again.
A second hit of the ball game so far for the Metamora Redbirds. Getting back to that first inning, so Fairfield tripled to deep center field, well over the head of the center fielder for Lemont, Ryan Folliard. He then came around to score a couple of batters later on a ground up by Brendan Natry, but it could have been a lot worse because they had runners at second and third with nobody out and a run in, and they only were able to punch home one of those runners in scoring position.
Joe Kennel, the courtesy runner, and Jeremy Guerrero, the 8th place hitter, now to the plate for the Redbirds. They trail 4-2 as Wright kicks and deals. Fastball high, ball 1. You talk about a full house. We got one today. We got a loud house here today. 1 ball, no strikes. Right from the set, kicks and fires. Fastball strike, and that's even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Especially for a high school crowd, it's deceptive because we are in a minor league ballpark, the home of the Joliet Slammers of the Frontier League. But this would probably be at least a few hundred fans for both teams. I'd say at least about 300.
It's a swing and a drive toward right. Right fielder drifting back. Rillington, he makes no, he didn't. He dropped the ball. And now runners at the corners, error on the right fielder, Eric Tucker. It looked like he had a hold of it, but he dropped it.
But I'll tell you, this is a quirky part of this ballpark. They've got a porch area, if you will, that is on what would normally be the warning track area. There's a kind of a picnic area. Kind of reminds me, if you know your baseball stadium history, when Charlie Finley owned the Kansas City Athletics, he put up a porch out in right field called the Pennant Porch, so they could get a few more home runs.
Right.
But then the Commissioner of Baseball didn't like that, and that I believe that lasted maybe 1 season. And it's similar. So he was dealing with not only the sun and the wind, because the wind is blowing left to right here from left field to right field, but also that quirky picnic area that juts out in straightaway right field.
Talk about quirky, that would be it.
I think they're going to give him a double on that one.
They will score that a double.
That was an over-the-shoulder catch that he had to make anyways. It was not an easy chance.
Number 2.
They did score that a double.
Zach Thyler now stands in, the 9th place hitter. As right from the set, kicks and fires, fastball strike, and the count's on 1. Your umpires, Bob Dillenardis at behind the plate, Andre Morgan at first, and David Seastrom at third.
Zeiler batting .211 on the season.
The pitch, fastball high, and the count's now even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
With 10 runs batted in. It's kind of what you'd expect a number 9 hitter to be hitting.
Yeah.
Not your big power guy, but a guy can still get on base.
Next one, swung on, fouled out of play.
Now,
no doink that time.
We've gotten to know Lemont over the last couple of weeks, but it was almost a little bit of a if you will, a bit of a personal side for Metamora because they're called the Redbirds. And I went to Illinois State, who are the Redbirds.
So a Redbird calling a Redbirds game. Here's a smash foul up the third baseline, and we'll do it again at 1 and 2.
However, they are right next to Peoria, Metamora, the town. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Peoria is the home of the Bradley Braves, the biggest rival, along with Southern Illinois, of Illinois State.
Yep.
Okay.
Next one, curveball, called strike 3. 1 down in the second.
That's a big one right there with runners in scoring position, and now 1 out. So Burnett started this whole scoring of the ball game with a leadoff walk to start the game in the first inning.
Peyton Burnett now to the plate for the second time in this ball game.
231 hitter.
And he takes the first pitch strike, and the count's 0-1.
8 runs batted in. Ethan Skender, who's the number 3 hitter, he leads the team in runs batted in with 35. We'll see him
next one
possibly in this inning.
On the outside corner, missed it, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 down here in the top of the second.
Charlie Wright would prefer not to see him, because that would mean that somebody came around to score probably.
Next one, curveball strike, and the count's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 down, top of the second here from Silvercross Field in Joliet. Right out of the stretch, the kick of the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down in the second. Big strikeouts, 2 of them back-to-back.
Charlie Wright kind of doing what he did in the first inning and letting the first 2 guys get on. In that case, the first 3 batters, but then coming back strong. And this is a guy he's got to get out. Brady Fairfield, who tripled home a run in the first inning, came around to score the second run.
The pitch to Fairfield, swing and a miss on a changeup, and the count's 0-1.
He hit a booming fly ball over the head of the center fielder out to the warning track in center to drive in that first run. Came around to score a couple of batters later on
the 0-1 high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
On an infield ground out by Brendan Natrebe.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. Here in the top of the second. And a toss to first, and they pick him off! They picked him off! How's that for getting out of a jam, partner?
That was a slick move. You know, you'd rather now you get Brady Fairfield to lead off the inning with nobody on. Rather
exactly.
Than still has a shot with runners in scoring, at least 1 runner in scoring position.
Haven't we seen that somewhere before?
We certainly have.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a pair left. We go to the bottom of the second. It is Lemont 4 and Metamora 2. This is the 2014 IHSA Baseball State Finals from Joliet, Illinois. And you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
What is the IHSA?
For more than 100 years, the Illinois High School Association and member schools have provided opportunities for students to participate in interscholastic athletics and activities, which produce vital education benefits.
Did you know the IHSA offers statewide championship series in 14 sports for boys and girls and sponsors statewide championships in 7 non-athletic activities? Did you know the IHSA licenses more than 10,000 contest officials in 13 different sports and that more than 300,000 students participate in IHSA sports and activities every year? Did you know activity programs only account for 1 to 3% of the overall education budget in a school? Did you know the nation's first sportsmanship mascot was created by the IHSA in 1997 with the birth of Attitude? Did you know students who participate in activity programs tend to have higher grades, better attendance, lower dropout rates, and fewer discipline problems than students that don't participate? Did you know activity programs provide valuable lessons for practical life situations? Teamwork, self-discipline, time management, dealing with adversity, and communication skills?
Now that you know, get in the game. Be a fan and join the fun. Support your local high school programs.
This message has been brought to you by the IHSA. Challenge yourself.
Quickly, we'll take a look at the U.S. Tire and Auto Road to Joliet. First pitch of the bottom of the second inning is low to Dewars for ball 1. For Metamora, how'd they get here, Mark?
Well, in the case of Metamora, they were able to get here with a record of 26-12. They most directly winning the Rock Island Super Sectional that was played at Augustana College out in Quad Cities.
Next one's a strike, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They're out of the Mid-Illini Conference. They were champions of their own Metamora Regional and also champions of the LaSalle Peru Sectional in LaSalle.
Next pitch inside to Dewars, and the count's now 2-1.
And they've been able to put the runs on the board. Been pretty impressive in the 5 playoff games so far, including today.
The 2-1 pitch to Dewars is a strike, and that count is even at 2-2.
In that Super Sectional game, they defeated Sycamore's Spartans by a score of 10-0. That was a 6-inning game in which Jeremy Guerrero went the distance with a 1-hit shutout.
Here's a swing and a little looper headed toward left center field. Left fielder is coming on. He's right there. Making the catch out in left is Brendan Natrebe. 1 down in the second.
So the Lemont Indians' record of 33-5, champions of the South Suburban Blue, and also champions of the Joliet Catholic Regional. They won the New Lenox Lincoln Way West Sectional, and on Monday the Crestwood Super Sectional over at Standard Bank Stadium.
Here's the pitch to Follier. It is low for ball 1. That's our U.S. Tire and Auto Road to Joliet for the teams participating here in the first game.
And of course, the stud Jake Latz in that game, another 9 strikeouts, 1 walk performance, and Popersky had an RBI triple and double in that game. By the way, both of those guys, Jake Latz, the pitcher, Mike Popersky, were drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays last week in the Major League Baseball draft.
Ooh.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do for if they go to the minors or do they go to college, where both of them are going to be going to big D1 programs.
2-0 is now 3-0 to Folliard with Big Mike on deck. The windup from the chest, and the 3-0 is a fastball outside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Ryan Folliard. So why are you going to walk Ryan Folliard with Mike Popersky behind him? That's like
not the best idea.
That's if I may set this up. That's like, let me think of it. That's like walking Joey Cora with Frank Thomas behind him.
Exactly. Very good point. Yeah.
That's like walking Ryan Sandberg with Andre Dawson behind him.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah, we got a few analogies we can throw on that one.
Here's the pitch, a swing and a drive into deep right center field, and the center fielder will track it down. He's there, 2 down in the inning. He put a good swing on it, but couldn't get enough air under it. Making the catch was Zach Thyler, 2 down in the second.
He hit it far, but unfortunately he also hit it very high.
Remember Evan Skogg's slam from last year?
that was high and extraordinary deep.
There's a target here. We'll give you the dimensions here from Silver Cross in a moment, but when Mark takes the middle innings. Out of the stretch, the kick and the pitch, swinging a foul to the backstop, and the count's 0-1. You know what's fun to see? All the kids that help work the tournament and that work the games here, because you can see them right behind the plate. They're just having so much fun with this, and we hope everyone really enjoys the fun that we're going to have bringing this to you.
Of course,
Lewis out of the stretch, the kick and the pitch.
Of course, we're in downtown Joliet. You can hear the train right behind us. That's the freight, the Metra, Rock Island line, and, of course, the Amtrak line that goes down to Springfield and Bloomington Normal and all the way down to St. Louis.
Yes. Gateway to the Midwest. A swing and a drive into left field, and the left fielder backs up. He's under it, makes the catch. Inning is over. We're going to stay here. Mark's going to take you through the middle innings. But before we take you through the middle innings, I'm Brian Snow, joined by Mark Farina. Join us online at arenasportsnet.com. Click Listen Live, and that is where you can hear all of the exciting action. Mark will recap the first couple of innings, and then he'll take you through the middle. Mark?
And in the situation, as we pointed out, in that first inning, Metamora jumped out quickly. Leadoff walk to Peyton Burnett, the right fielder. Then Brady Fairfield with a booming RBI triple to center. He later on came around to score the second run of that inning, and it was a 2-0 Metamora lead. Could have been a lot worse because they had runners at second and third with a run in and nobody out, but Charlie Wright was able to wiggle his way out of that situation. And then right back came the Lemont Indians with 6 hits in that first inning, 5 hits, 6 hits in 5 hits in a row. That drove in the 4 runs that they scored in that inning. The big blow, Mike Popersky's 2-run single that drove in the first 2 runs. He came around to score later on a Jake Terrazas ground out, and then Eric Tucker drove in Mike Wiz with a RBI single to left. So it's been impressive so far, to say the least. It's been a very interesting first inning, but both pitchers seems to have somewhat calmed down. Let's see what happens here in the third. Leading it off here in the third will be Brady Fairfield. He had that booming RBI single and scored a run in the first, so he's 1 for 1. 4-2, Lemont with the lead. Could have been a lot worse. One of the keys in that first inning was a great stab and long throw by Lamont's third baseman, Mike Gralla, that held the runners at second and third and got the first out of the inning right down the line there. Here's a pitch swung on, once again fouled down the third base line and out of play. So now Fairfield is in the hole 0-2. As we pointed out, Metamora 26-12, Lemont 33-5 coming into this game. Swung on and missed, high fastball on the outside corner, and he gets
Smoking.
As he gets Fairfield out. He has struck out 3 in a row now. Has Charlie Wright, the left-hander, looks like we talked about. Has that Jamie Moyer-ish kind of style, if you will. Not too much.
And that's going to carry him a long way.
There's Ethan Skender, leading RBI man for the Metamora Redbirds. He's got 35 on the season, including 11 home runs. So he's their big power gun, as you would imagine, a 3 or 4 hitter in the lineup. 6 foot right-handed hitter, right-handed thrower. He's also their shortstop. That pitch is outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Skender. He walked in the first, but was left stranded at third. Charlie Wright moves quickly. He works quickly, pitches inside. Runs the count to 3 balls and a strike. Skender showing the same patience he did his first time at bat. And he takes a strike on the inside corner. Runs the count full to 3-2. He'll be followed by Drew Beenders, the first baseman. And here's a 3-2 offering. Swung on, check swing, got him. 4 strikeouts in a row. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. And I'll bring up Drew Beenders. Beenders grounded it out to third on that great stab just inside the foul line, and the fine throw by third baseman Mike Gralla. That was a key play in that first inning because it basically was able to stop the bleeding for the most part. This pitch is swung on, fouled back. Oop.
Doink!
Doink off the press box glass. I assume it's shatterproof. I would hope it'd be shatterproof.
And squeegee-proof, considering we've been here before.
It'll be a heck of a squeegee from out here in the ballpark. Pitch is down low. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike to Beenders. One offering. Is a ball. We'll run the count to 2 balls and a strike. Beenders batting .366 on the season with 22 runs batted in, one of their top RBI guys, actually their number 3 RBI man for Metamora. Count 3 balls, 1 strike from Charlie Wright. The delivery in tight, but it's going to be called a strike. I call that Jim Carrey mask move, but it was a strike, so full count offering, swung on, foul back into the seats, up onto the roof, or actually into one of the private suites here in the second deck.
Oh, it did hit it did land in the suite.
It did land in the suite. Ballpark very similar, at least in terms of design, to the Steel Yard in Gary. This pitch is in the dirt. It was a strike, and they'll throw him out at first. Drop third strike, throw to first in time. So Charlie Wright is able to strike out the side here in the third inning. And we go to the bottom of the third. Our score remains the Lemont Indians 4, the Metamora Redbirds nothing. And you're listening to the 2014 IHSA Class 3A semifinals from Silver Cross Field in Joliet. And it's right here on the Arena Sports Network.
Quality products from Bridgestone, Firestone, and great service is what sets U.S. Tire and Automotive apart. Our service department specializes in brake service alignments and oil changes for customers just like you. Come pay us a visit at 3350 Grant Street in Gary, Indiana, or call 219-884-4600, or visit us online at ustire-auto.com.
We go to the bottom of the third inning. The Lemont Indians with a 4-2 lead. All the scoring so far in the game in the first. Redbirds with a quick 2 runs in the first, and then the Indians came back with 5 hits in a row and a total of 6 in the inning for a 4-2 lead, wasting no time. And leading it off here in the bottom of the third inning will be the number 5 hitter, first baseman Jake Terrazas. He had one of those 6 hits in the first inning. He had the last of the first 5 hits in a row, first 5 batters, driving in a run, but he was then rubbed out on an infield fielder's choice ground out. 1-0 offering from Alex Lewis as a called strike, evens the count at 1-1. Terrazas is batting .365 with 31 runs batted in, including a home run. They get a lot of guys who can hit. This pitch is swung on, kind of lunged at it. Third baseman charges, throws in time for out number one.
Good play.
Had Terrazas off balance on that pitch, and he kind of lunged at it and just got enough of it to put it into play. But again, a good play by the third baseman for Metamora, Drew Beenders.
One of those where you have to charge it.
Yes, absolutely. Cannot let that ball play you because it will take the funny hop then. So 1-up, 1 down to bring up Nick Wiz, the second baseman. He is officially 0 for 1 in the ballgame, grounded into a fielder's choice to the shortstop in the first. Pitch swung on, hard hit to the shortstop on a couple bounces. Picks it up near second base and throws to first in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. And he'll bring up the right fielder, Eric Tucker. Tucker with one of those 6 hits in the first with an RBI single to left. That drove in Mike Wiz with the 4th run in the inning. Both pitchers working fairly quickly. This pitch is swung on, line shot, but it's right at the left fielder, who was playing shallow and left for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down as well for the Indians here in the third. We're through 3 complete here at the Silver Cross Field in downtown Joliet. You're listening to the 2013 IHSA Class 3A semifinals, and it's right here on the Arena Sports Network.
At Stragan Van Til, we think differently about groceries. We always have. So what does that mean? It means better, fresher, focused on you. Your neighborhood store that gives you more. It's quality, selection, the variety you want. Choice meats, deli, bakery, your one-stop shop. Everything on your list and all for less. With the savings you deserve and unbeatable service, that's different. That's built around you, and that's your Stragan Van Til.
4-2, the Lemont Indians leading the Metamora Redbirds as we go to the top of the 4th inning. Talking a little bit about Brian Storako. This is the first trip that Lemont has made to the IHSA semifinals in their storied athletic history. Storako, young coach, only in his second season at Lemont after 5 years as a coach at Marion Catholic High School. He was an assistant baseball and basketball coach back then. And he's a graduate of South Suburb School, Bremen High School, the Braves, where he was an infielder, and also went on to play at North Central College for the Cardinals over in Naperville. So he's done a fine job considering it's his second year. And leading it off here in the top of the 4th inning for Metamora will be their number 5 hitter, left fielder Brendan Nacktrebe. Nacktrebe grounded out to the first baseman to the pitcher in the first inning. Did drive in a run, drove in Brady Fairfield with the second run of the ball game for Metamora. And he shows bunt, lays down a bunt, but it goes foul down the third base side. Bunting all the way for a hit on that one was Nacktrebe. Nacktrebe comes into the ballgame, .341 hitter. He's got 30 runs batted in. But the guy you want to keep off base is really Ethan Skender. He's their big threat with 11 home runs and 35 runs batted in. So far, they've been able to do it, limited him to a walk. This pitch is swung on, line shot. Center fielder playing medium deep in center comes in and makes a waist-high catch for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down in the 4th, and they'll bring up the third baseman, Caleb Brackbill. Brackbill ended the first inning with a ground out to the second baseman, so he's 0 for 1. Brackbill with an impressive .379 batting average coming in, including 28 runs batted in. Ever since that first inning and the beginning of the second, Charlie Wright has really settled down. This pitch is swung on, hit high, sky high, can of corn for the left fielder moving towards left center field. He'll make the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, as Charlie Wright now has retired 6 in a row after giving up 2 hits in the second. No runs came around to score in that case, fortunately for Lemont. And now they'll bring up Jake Guide, who had one of those hits in the second inning. It led off with a double in the second, but was left stranded at third. So I'd like to see if he can start this inning off with now 2 out and get a two-out rally for Metamora. So we said Charlie Wright moves quickly. The left-hander swung on and missed. The pitch to Guide. He's the designated hitter, batting for the pitcher, Alex Lewis. See if he can get it. He's trying to get on for the second time in this ballgame. And the pitch upstairs runs the count to 2 balls and a strike. Jeremy Guerrero, who's the DH today and probably, I assume, will pitch tomorrow for Metamora. He is the on-deck hitter. 2-1 offering, hit high in the air, but right at the left fielder who backs up a few steps. 3 flyouts in a row, 3 up, 3 down in the 4th. Game suddenly moving right along. Our score remains the Lemont Indians 4, the Metamora Redbirds 2. And you're listening to the IHSA Class 3A semifinals here from Silver Cross Field in Joliet on the Arena Sports Network.
Chow down with the Italian collection at Subway.
Delicioso.
Try the Mongelissa's Chicken Pizzola Melt, a fresh take on Italian with tender, juicy chicken, zesterific pepperoni, and plenty of our signature recipe marinara sauce.
Perfecto.
Mamma mia!
And taste the Amore with the Meatball Pepperoni Melt, a kickin' combination of Italian-style meatballs and pepperoni on your favorite freshly baked bread.
Only at Subway.
And only for a limited time.
Don't miss out.
Subway. Eat fresh.
Bottom of the 4th inning we go. 4-2, Lemont Indians leading the Metamora Redbirds. Winner of this game will battle the winner of our second semifinal game coming up right after this with Grays Lake Central's Rams and the Sacred Heart Griffin Cyclones. We are pointing out this is Lamont's first visit to the class or the semifinals in baseball.
And they're playing like this.
Yeah,
I think they plan to stick around a while.
Mike Gralla will step up, and when they got a pitcher coach who's only in his second season in Storaco, Mike Gralla, the number 8 hitter and the third baseman, will lead it off here in the 4th.
And in talking to Coach Storaco after the sectional win, he said it best. This team is not done.
Well, if he's, I'll tell you what. But it'll be interesting replacing a couple of the ball players that he has,
like Papersky.
And that's right.
And
Wiz. 1 ball, no strike. This pitch is in tight. He's going to call it a strike. He's giving those inside strikes. He evens the count at 1-1. Gralla grounded out to the shortstop in the first.
Of course, we know the story of Papersky headed to LSU.
Ground ball, unless he goes to the Blue Jays. Toss on the first from the second baseman is in time for out number 1.
Yeah, he may look at the sky dome and go, that's a challenge.
Well, of course, won't start there, but 1 up, 1 down. Now the number 9 hitter.
You never know. Glista. You never know.
Glista is 0 for 1. He flied out to the left fielder in the first inning. He was the 9th and final batter as they batted around in the first inning.
Actually, he was the 9th of 10.
That's correct. I'm sorry, I take that back. So, no balls, 1 strike to count to Glista. Ground ball in the hole. Shortstop's got a tough play. Long throw. He throws it away. But the first baseman came off the bag and was able to stab it before it made it to the dugout.
Third baseman wouldn't be able to get to it, so the shortstop tried to make the play, and it was trouble as soon as the ball got away.
That's an infield hit all the way. Infield hits for Glista, and they'll bring up Danny Dowers. Dowers is
a pest.
Yes. Needless to say, he's a pest, yes.
And we mean that lovingly, folks. He's doing what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do.
He is 0 for 1 in the ballgame, led off the second inning with a fly out to left. Toss on over to first. Again, he almost threw that one away. As getting back quickly was Jamie Glista. Not the pickoff move that we probably would expect from Alex Lewis. Runner on with 1 out here in the 4th. Bottom of the 4th. Pitch is swung on, hit sky high. Kennecorn moving over to right center field is the center fielder. And making the catch was Zach Zeiler for out number 2.
Metamora in the cardinal red tops, white numbers trimmed in black with the white pants. Lemont, the old school uniforms, the cream colored uniforms, navy blue numbers, the high socks, gold and white surrounding.
Now, we were expecting this game to be slow, high scoring. It has been anything but since that first inning.
Since the first inning.
As both pitchers have, for the most part, settled down. So Ryan Folliard will step up. He had one of the 5 straight hits.
Look out.
Toss on over to first. There was a pitch out. Back in time is Glista. Fowler singled and scored in the first single to right field. He also walked, but was left stranded in the second. So he's officially 1 for 1 with a run scored.
And we get to see St. Rita later on this evening.
That's true. The Mustangs. Interesting. We could see a all Catholic League, all Chicago Catholic League final in 4A.
Like Providence and St. Rita, perhaps?
Could possibly. Of course, if South Elgin has anything to say about that.
And South Elgin pulled one of the biggest upsets.
That pitch is slightly off kilter to the first baseman from the pitcher. He not far enough away to allow Glista to advance.
South Elgin pulled off one of the biggest upsets in beating Evanston to get here to Joliet.
And Prairie Ridge, of course.
Yep.
There goes the runner, Glista, fouled off, first base side, down the line. Hit and run all the way.
They had the right idea with the hit and run.
Fowler, in that case, I think was more than anything was trying to protect the plate because he had kind of a lunging swing to try to protect his runner and fouled it off. On deck, a gentleman by the name of Mike Papersky that I think we've heard of a few times.
You think?
2 balls, 1 strike to count to Papersky after Fowler. Runner at first with 1 out. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And here's the delivery. It's going to be a toss on over to first base. As Lewis has been keeping an extra close eye on Jamie Glista, especially after that hit and run. Once again, Glista has a decent lead. Pitches upstairs for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike down to Fowler. Beautiful ballpark here. They even have a firehouse, just like Wrigley Field outside the left field premises. And even have a marker down there, 560 to left field if you ever get it hit the firehouse. That's ball 4 in tight. So for the second time in a row, Fowler gets on with a walk, and for the third time in a row, he's on base with 1 out. As Glista makes his way to second on that walk, and it'll bring up Mike Papersky. And here's a guy that you do not want to have up with men on base. And now looks like the pitching coach is going to come out for Metamora. I can't tell you what his number is because he's covered up. But that's okay. But now you got a situation with 2 out, runners at first and second, and the dangerous Mike Papersky.
And guess who at the plate?
He singled, driving in 2 runs in the first, came around to score as well, and then he flied out to deep center field in the second.
All weekend long, we'll be on arenasportsnet.com bringing you the 3A and 4A State Championship Series. All the semifinals today and the championship games tomorrow.
So let's see what Papersky can do with runners at first and second and 2 out. He's already, like I said, driven in 2 runs. First pitch to him is a called strike in the outside corner. Nice pitch.
Began with a changeup on the outside corner.
So now do you see fastball or slider in this second one?
Throw him a slider.
Left-handed hitting Papersky is actually a switch hitter. Batting lefty against the right-hand throwing Alex Lewis. That was a breaking ball and a very slow breaking ball outside.
He's not going to give him anything solid to hit, so he's going to think off speed and try to get Mike to chase something.
1-1 offering, takes a look at second. Pitch swung on, hit like a bullet, but fouled on the first base side.
Oops. He got away with that.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry I stepped out. I had to get my souvenir program.
Sometimes
you get lucky.
Sometimes, as a batter like this, you see that ball coming, in your eyes, and it looks like a volleyball at some point or a softball, especially on a breaking pitch like that. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Papersky. Mike Wiz would be the next hitter.
And Mike's daring Lewis to throw him another one.
Papersky steps out of the bag, gets a little saliva on his batting gloves, and gets ready to bat.
What you don't want to do if you're Lewis is throw the exact same pitch because you can bet Papersky's sitting on it.
Yeah, he can definitely burn you, that's for sure. Papersky, all that he's done this year, 7 home runs. Swung on and missed. He struck him out on a beautiful breaking ball.
He got him to chase a curveball outside, a rare strikeout.
And that's a big one as Lemont leaves 2 without scoring a run here in the 4th. No runs on 1 hit, a walk, and 2 men left. We are through 4 complete here in Joliet at Silver Cross Field. It still remains the Lemont Indians 4, the Metamora Redbirds 2. And you're listening to the IHSA Class 3A semifinals from Silver Cross Field on the Arena Sports Network.
At Strachan Van Til, everything we do is designed around you. From the uncompromising freshness down every aisle to the unbeatable quality you'll always find. It's the very best selection from choice meats to bakery. And getting honest value every single day. All with the friendly personal service and the savings that you deserve. That's built around you.
We go to the top of the 5th inning now. Metamora trying to inch a little bit closer. They trail the Lemont Indians 4-2. Metamora got on the board first, 2 runs in the top of the 1st inning, thanks in part to a RBI triple by Brady Fairfield and then a ground-out RBI by Brendan Natchreeb. And now, being that it's the 5th inning, it's time for our Cricket Wireless trivia question, sponsored by Cricket Wireless. Brian, what do we have today?
It goes a little something like this. With the Spurs win last night, going to switch it up a little bit. With the Spurs win last night by 21, they and only one other team have won back-to-back NBA Finals games by 19-plus points. The Cricket Wireless trivia question, who is that other team?
I think I have an idea, but we'll find out. I'm probably wrong. Jeremy Guerrero, the sophomore pitcher-designated hitter, leads it off for the Metamora Redbirds here in the top of the 5th. Swung on, hit high in the air, dropping in the left field. It will be dropped right in front of the diving left fielder, Jamie Glista, and it's a leadoff single for Guerrero, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Good try by Glista. Just a couple steps short from getting to it.
Now, in the 5 innings, they've been able to get their leadoff hitter on in 3 of those innings. Took advantage of it in the 1st, but also then wound up leaving 2 in the 2nd. So let's see what the Redbirds can do here, trailing 4-2. And the number 9 hitter, Zach Seiler, the center fielder, will step up. He's 0 for 1, struck out swinging in that 2nd inning. That was a big out with runners at that point at 1st and 2nd and nobody out. And let's see what Charlie Wright can do in this situation. He does have 5 strikeouts. He struck out the side in the 3rd. This pitch is swung on. This time, again, left fielder comes on in, makes the catch for out number 1.
And that nearly tailed away from him.
Well, he was playing in more in that situation. Of course, Guerrero remains at first now with 1 out, and Peyton Burnett, the right fielder, will step up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, scored a run in the 1st, struck out swinging to end the 2nd. Charlie Wright, for the most part, has settled down. They did threaten in the 2nd, but unfortunately were unable to score. The Redbirds have a little bit of a threat here in the 5th with a runner at 1st and 1 out. Of course, baseball 7 innings, so time's starting to run away from Metamora somewhat.
That blue pit, I believe, ended a string of 6 in a row. Oh, they got him picked off again.
The 2nd time that they've picked him off.
Oh, my gracious.
2nd time, and that's a sophomore mistake right there.
Yes, it is.
Twice. Again, in this case, running themselves out of an inning. Guerrero's done it the 2nd time. So, again, 1-3 on the putout. That really hurts.
It takes the wind out of your
Well,
sails.
it's taken them out of two innings, basically.
That should have been scoring innings.
Exactly. 1 ball, no strikes to Burnett. And pitch is swung on, line shot right to the 2nd baseman. Hit like a bullet, but right at the 2nd baseman for out number 3. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, a picked off runner, and nobody left down. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Score remains the Lemont Indians 4, the Metamora Redbirds 2, and you're listening to the IHSA Class 3A semifinals from Silver Cross Field in Joliet, right here on the Arena Sports Network.
There's at least one place in every community where neighbors still gather and civic pride flourishes. one endless source of inspiration. One night where history is made and the nation's future seems brighter than ever. There's at least one high school serving every community in Illinois, and if you're not in the stands, you're missing out. High school sports are a part of our state's tradition, but it takes the support of the entire community to make it happen. Be a fan. Support your local high school's activity programs. This message is brought to you by the IHSA, celebrating more than 100 years of high school sports and activities in Illinois.
We go to the bottom of this fifth inning. 4-2, Lemont leading Metamora, and with our Cricket Wireless trivia answer, here's Brent. But I want to take a shot at it. Well, tell him the question.
The question once again, with the Spurs win last night by 21 over Miami, thank you God for that, only one other team besides the Spurs have won back-to-back NBA Finals games by at least 19 points. Who is that other team? Take a shot.
I'm going to say it was the LA Lakers.
You'd be wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
The answer is the Portland Trail Blazers. The year, 1977.
Ah, yes, Bill Walton.
Dr. Jack Ramsey, Maurice Lucas.
Lionel Hollins.
Yeah.
Dave Twardzik.
Yep.
A little blooping single to right field on the first pitch of the inning to Mike Wiz. So that's hit number
Greg Gross.
8. Yeah, what a great, fine.
What a fun team that was.
Did they break the Bulls' hearts that year?
Oh, my God, yes.
It was the Miracle on Madison Street.
Yep, and 2 years prior, the Warriors broke the Bulls' hearts.
That's right.
There's something about breaking hearts.
Well, back then they did.
Yeah, they did.
We got even, and then some in the 90s.
In 92, we did.
So Jake Terrazas will step up. The first baseman is 1 for 2 in the ball game, with Wiz now at first base with the second hit of the ball game.
The Warriors broke our hearts. The Warriors broke the Bulls' hearts in 75. The Blazers broke our hearts in 77. And you know the Lakers just absolutely tortured us throughout the 70s. But what people don't realize that start researching the NBA, for a long time the Bulls were a member of the Western Conference.
Now there was possibly a defensive change in this ballgame. I don't know what it was. It wasn't announced. Alex Lewis still on the mound pitching. So it looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner for Terrazas, either a courtesy runner or a straight change in the
John
lineup.
Samadas will go in now for Wiz.
And he may stay in at shortstop. We'll see. Courtesy runner, possibly a pinch runner if he stays in. Of course, you can reinsert a player as well. So Terrazas 1 for 2 in the ballgame. He has an RBI single to left in that first inning. Called strike 1 to Terrazas. 4 runs now, 8 hits for the Lemont Indians. 1 error in the ballgame. Could have been a second, but they ruled that to straight base hit RBI in the first. By,
with all the rotten weather we've had this spring, we've got gorgeous weather for the state finals.
Absolutely. Pitch out, toss to first, back, diving just in time was
this Lemont team. Not only do they love to hit, they also love to run, and they are in Metamora's heads.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's definitely in Jeremy Guerrero's head.
Mm-hmm.
That's about as inexcusable as you can be, being picked off twice. 1-1 offering is a called strike in the outside corner. He even runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nick Wiz, Mike's younger brother, would be due up next. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lewis tosses on over to first. Lazy toss this time, not his pickoff move. But he's keeping a close eye on John Samadas, the pinch runner / courtesy runner.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch swung on, hit it right off his foot.
Oh, man.
That stings a little bit.
He had a good, if you saw his swing, Mark, that was a good cut.
It was a good cut.
Because he knew what the pitch was, he knew it was coming, he just couldn't square it up the way he wanted.
So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Terrazas.
I bet you there's
2 runs in the first for Metamora, and then Lemont came right back with 4 runs in the bottom of the first.
Lemont said, okay, whatever you can do, we can double.
And that's all the scoring we've had. Been pretty quiet since. As Terrazas steps out. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Now he steps back into the batter's box.
And except for the error, the totals are doubled also.
Pitch swung on. Got ahead of that one. Fouls it off. Brian Storacco charged with an error at third base as the third base box coaching. He should have had that one.
Yeah, you got to play that one.
We'll have to lecture him after the game.
Or as they say in Baltimore, give that man an error.
That's right. Here's the pitch. Swung on once again, this time fouled off. And out of play, out onto the terrace area, past the berm. Maybe,
my car!
Maybe he took out a car. Let's take a look at my car. Remember what happened last year.
Like I said, Evan Skog.
That's right. I don't think it was Evan that caused that dent. It was on the wrong side.
Okay.
But it wasn't too bad. Fortunately, I was able to, nothing like that plastic fiberglass stuff. You can pop it back out.
Yeah, but you'll take a souvenir like that.
Yeah, it saved me some money.
You'll take a souvenir like that.
Didn't get to put a claim in with my insurance company. That's a called third strike.
Beautiful pitch. Beautiful pitch.
Razas goes down on a called third. And with one out and a runner at first, it'll bring up Nick Wiz. Wiz is 0 for 2 in the ball game, grounded out to a fielder's choice to the shortstop, and once again to the shortstop in the third. So he's 0 for 2. He'd like to keep this inning going and add to the base runners for Lemont. Pitch outside to Wiz.
Pitch out again.
Nick batting .300 on the season. With 31 runs batted in.
Uh-oh.
Runner going, toss to second. He got him big time. Mike Wiz in this case trying to steal second base, but he was dead right on that one.
He ran on the wrong pitch, and that was Samadas that was running for him. He ran on the wrong pitch.
Rather Samadas, I take that back. So Samadas gets thrown out trying to steal, so now 2 out and nobody on. And a 2-0 count to Nick Wiz. Maybe should have kept Mike in there.
Yeah.
And the pitch is outside in the dirt for ball 3.
So they could run themselves out of an inning unless the bats get going again, and we've seen that before.
But there's a big difference in running yourself trying to steal bases as compared to being picked off twice. And the same player. That's a strike on the outside.
Picked off twice.
3 balls, 1 strike to count to Nick Wiz. Eric Tucker would be due up next. Pitch down low, ball 4. So just after throwing the base runner out on the steal attempt, he walks the next batter, Wiz. So now 2 out with 1 man on. And he'll bring up Eric Tucker. Tucker's 1 for 2 in the ballgame with an RBI single in the first. Flied out to the left fielder and the third. Eric Tucker batting a hefty .305 on the season with 12 runs batted in.
I'll take a .300 average.
But he also has a home run as well, so he's got a little bit of power.
I'll take a .300 average.
And I'll take that anytime for a number 7 hitter, certainly. Alex Lewis also working quickly. This ball is in the dirt. Gets past the catcher. Toss on the second is not in time as
that was close.
And it was a great throw by the catcher.
I mean, he threw that flat-footed from about 10 feet behind the plate.
Jacob Beauty with a beauty of a throw, but not in time. That's going to be. I'm going to call it a pass ball.
Yeah,
pass ball.
Let's call that a pass ball.
He should have had that one. So now at second base is Nick Wiz with 2 out in scoring position and a 2-0 count to Eric Tucker. This one again in the dirt outside, runs the count to 3-0. So suddenly Alex Lewis is kind of losing his nerve a little bit here.
He is.
Mike Rollo would be the next hitter. He's in the on-deck circle on the third base side. 3 ball, no strike count to Eric Tucker. Takes right down the middle for strike 1.
Taking all the way.
Absolutely.
Taking all the way.
Only time you'll let that be excused is if he hits a home run.
Exactly.
3 or drives in a run. Okay.
But we've seen it happen.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. This one's in the dirt. Ball 4. So Tucker now with the second walk in a row. Third base runner in the inning.
And that's probably going to close the day.
It may close the day. They had pitchers warming up. Let's see. They're going to bring the infield in instead. As head coach for Metamora, Eric Stone, makes his way out to the mound. So now runners at first and second. We have two out here in the fifth as Lemont tries to add to the 4-2 inning. So we will have a new pitcher. And it looks like it is number 11 for the Metamora.
Drew Benders.
Drew Benders is coming in. He was warming up earlier.
That he was.
Benders,
and that was the defensive switch because Joe Kennel is now at first base. Benders was at first to start the game. Kennel came in on that defensive switch.
So Benders will come in relief of Alex Lewis. Where have we heard this before?
I don't know. He's on first. We're not talking about him.
4 2/3 innings goes Alex Lewis. Gives up 4 runs so far on 8 hits. And so let's take a look at Benders. Benders comes in with a record of 5-1, 43 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 39 hits, walked 18 earned runs, He's walked 19, struck out 25, and an earned run average of 2.89 for Benders. He is a senior and a right-hander. And the two runners on base, Wiz and Tucker, Nick Wiz and Eric Tucker, are the responsibility of Alex Lewis. And then going over to first base,
number 10, Alex Lewis.
It looks like, and Alex Lewis will move over to first base. And that's what they said. Number 10 moves over to first base.
That's wrong because that's Joe Kennel. That's 17 at first base.
Okay. So he would go into, let's see what position he would go into. We'll take a look. 17 is the first baseman. That's, as you point out, Joe Kennel.
That's Joe Kennel.
May go in Jeremy Guerrero's spot. They may have taken out the DH right there, especially with what Guerrero did on the base paths or didn't do.
So we got a Gorala at the plate. And this happens.
And the shortstop knocks it down. He'll have no play, and now the bases are loaded. Infield hit. So Growler gets on with his first hit of the ballgame after going 0 for 2, and now we got the bases loaded with 2 out.
And a chance for Lemont
to
put this game away.
So Jamie Glista will step up. He has one of the 9 hits. He singled on an infield hit very similar to what Growler just did in the 4th inning, and also flying out to left to end the 1st inning. Glista, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for Brian Storacco's Indians. Pitch swung on and missed on a breaking ball.
Good pitch.
More like a slider. He had some giddy up on that one.
He did.
Bases loaded. Nick Wiz at third, Eric Tucker at second, Mike Growler at first for the Indians, and 2 out. Pitches.
Good
called strike on the outside corner, runs the count 0-2. So doing a good job so far is the relief pitcher, Drew Benders. Benders from the stretch takes a look at first. Here comes the 0-2 offering. Outside and high for ball 1.
Try to get him to fish. Try to get him to fish. And I wouldn't be surprised if we tried it again.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Glista. Bases loaded, 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 4-2. Lemont leading Metamora. And the pitch is swung on, ground ball in the hole.
Forget it.
Gets past the shortstop. It's going to allow 2 runs to score.
As soon as the shortstop got his glove on it, it crawled into the outfield and 2 runs will score, and that just may slam the door.
2 RBIs on that base hit by Glista, driving in Nick Wiz and Eric Tucker. It's now 6-2 in favor of Lemont. And you're right, that's a big one. But the walks are what really came back to haunt Charlie Wright, because both those runs.
After a runner was caught stealing.
not Charlie Wright, rather Alex Lewis. So Lewis gives up all 6 runs to Lemont. The book is closed on him. That's right. After 2 out, he walked the next 2 batters.
And they both scored.
Because he'd thrown out the leadoff hitter Samadas, or at least the courtesy runner Samadas, trying to steal. So now runners at first and second with 2 runs in and still 2 out. And the pitch to the leadoff hitter.
Yes, he did.
Danny Dowers.
No, he didn't.
Dowers is officially 1 for 3 in the ball game. He singled to start that big 4-run first inning. Came around to score and has flied out the subsequent 2 at-bats. Once to left, once to center. Both times, leading off the second. And we've seen this guy with a lot of hits.
Mm-hmm.
The pitch, called, strike. Runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dowers. He's quite the ball player, Danny Dowers.
Doing what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do.
1-2 offering, got a piece of it.
Oh, wow.
And hit that one off his foot, his right foot.
That was a curveball from you-know-where, and he somehow got a piece of it.
2 runs in the inning after 2 out, thanks to a couple of walks and a pass ball and a single by Growler, and then the 2-run base hit by Jamie Glista. 6-2. Lemont leads it here in the bottom of the 5th. The winner to face the winner of Sacred Heart Griffin and Grays Lake Central. Ground ball to the shortstop. On the short hop, toss to first, just in time.
Oh, wow.
Dowers almost beat it out to retire the side in the inning. However, for Lemont, 2 runs on 2 hits. There were also 2 walks, or rather 3 hits in the inning, 2 walks, and 2 men left. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Brian Snow will bring you the rest of the way. Our score now, the Lemont Indians 6, the Metamora Redbirds 2, and you're listening to the IHSA Class 3A baseball semifinals from Joliet here on the Arena Sports Network.
Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
The always tough 2-out single. It'll always kill you. And that's exactly what Lemont Indians were able to do here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th. 6-2, Lemont leading Metamora, and bringing us the rest of the way will be Brian Snow.
Brady Fairfield starts the top of the 6th. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark Farina, as Charlie Wright winds and deals. A swinging a bouncing ball headed towards short. Whiz up with it. Dropped it. Third baseman throws. Not in time.
That'll be an error. Tough chance, but still an error.
Leadoff runner aboard now for the...
You know, if he makes it cleanly and the guy beats it out, it's one thing. But in this case, he bobbled the ground ball, still had a chance to throw him out, even then with the deflection to the third baseman.
And it is indeed scored an error on Mike Wiz. He had it and dropped it. Ethan Skender now stands in as Wright kicks and fires. A swing and a pop foul off to the right and out of play for strike 1.
By the way, Skender, as we talked, he has been a ton this year for Metamora. Skender batting .397 coming into today's game, 9 doubles. We talked about 11 home runs, 34 runs batted in.
Yep. And they throw the first, and he nearly picked off a third runner.
That's right. Wow. Well, he's got that move. I mean, he obviously fooled Guerrero twice.
And the pitch. Fastball high, and the count's now even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One thing I love about lefties when they got a really good move to first. I mean, it's worth its weight in gold.
Man,
because you can get yourself out of jams because of that.
He's gotten himself out of 2 jams.
There goes the runner.
Runner takes off. Pitches low. Throw to second. He is safe.
Looks like he just got under the tag. The throw was to the second base side of the bag. We thought for a moment that the shortstop, in this case,
Mike Wiz,
had made the correct play, but
and now we're going to have an argument at third base as
he's thinking maybe the third base umpire had a better look at it. I don't know. So he's going to rule that a stolen base.
And it puts a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the sixth. And now Pepersky will go out and talk to Wright. And now we got some activity in the Lemont bullpen.
That is
right-hander is warming up.
Right-hander by the name of Casey O'Brien is warming up.
Attention, sports fans. Do you know where you can find everything you need for your favorites?
Count is 2 balls and a strike to Ethan Skender, the shortstop.
O'Brien, a pitcher and a catcher, so he throws it both ways. The line that came to mind, what can I say?
Oh, I'm going to get hit with these all weekend, folks.
Like
the
that
pitch
one, huh?
way high and outside, and the count's 3-1. Like I said, I'm going to get hit with these all weekend, and I don't mind one damn bit.
But I don't. You'd like to get Skender out of here because he's the big power punch for Metamora.
Right, going to look to second, the kick and the pitch. And
got a piece of it.
He did get a piece of it. The count goes full 3-2.
That was an excuse-me check swing.
Skender wanted to swing, and then thought about pulling back in the last minute, and then he realized, oops, I got a piece of it.
He's officially 0 for 1 with a walk. He struck out swinging in the third.
And the payoff pitch. Swinging a tapper headed toward short. Wiz will get this one with 2 hands. The throw to first is in time. 1 down in the 6th. Fairfield on to third base. And Drew Benders now stands in.
But that's a big guy to get out of the,
yeah, it
out
is.
Of the lineup.
Yes, it is.
Especially in an RBI situation like that. So here comes Benders, who, of course, is now pitching.
So Benders now heads to the plate. 1 out, 1 on. Top of the 6th inning. 6-2. Lemont with the lead as they look to seal up a spot in the state championship. And that will be tomorrow morning at 11:30. Here's a swing and a foul out of play, and the count's 0-1.
Benders 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out. Nice play by the third baseman in that first inning. He was able to hold the runners at that time by Mike Ralla, and then he also called third strike, dropped third strike, swinging in the third.
Next one outside. The count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Portions of today's game and our programming on the Arena Sports Network brought to you by LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? The 1-1. Swinging the tapper headed toward Wiz. He'll take that on 2 hands. Run will score. Toss to first is in time. Crossing the plate is Fairfield. An unearned run for the Red Boys has cut the lead to 6-3 here in the 6th.
But now there's 2 out and nobody on.
So Wright essentially gives up the run. But you have, as Mark mentioned, the base is clear. Brendan Nacktrebe now stands in, lefty to righty. A swing and a miss on a 57-foot breaking ball inside of his foot. And the count's 0-1.
Starting in the second inning, Charlie Wright struck out 5 in a row. He hasn't struck out anybody since the third.
The 0-1. He might do what you were saying?
He's staring at one now.
So 0-2 now on Nacktrebe.
That's why I set it up.
How long have we been working together? The 0-2 missed it outside with a fastball, and the count's 1-2.
He's been giving him the inside corner more than the outside corner today.
So he might just go back in there now, and he might go back in there with a 50-mile-an-hour curveball. The 1-2.
Struck him out.
Told ya.
Yep, he called it.
Told ya. I can't get the outside corner. Okay, I'll take the inside corner. No, 1 run in the inning. No hits, an error, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is Lemont 6 and Metamora 3. This is the 2014 Class 3A State Semifinals from Silver Cross Field in Joliet. You're hearing it live, I say, on the Arena Sports Network.
Parents, if you have children in high school, you may know firsthand that today's teens spend more time with the computer, TV, and video games than on any other activity except sleeping. The Illinois High School Association is the antidote to video games. IHSA sponsors 35 activities, from basketball and football to music, drama, and journalism. They enrich kids' high school experience. They engage kids' brains and their bodies and teach the value of teamwork and good sportsmanship. Encourage your kids to get involved. Go to www.ihsa.org.
Before we begin the bottom of the 6th inning, there are two very special people that I need to say hi to. One of them is Liz, and you know Liz very well. And you know who the other pretty lady is?
Of course, adorable Donna.
That's my little one. A year and a half old.
Well, while you're doing that, I also have to then say hi to my wife, Diane, of 20 years.
Hi, Diane.
And, of course,
the bouncing baby boy.
Bouncing baby's now 15.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I believe
Lewis is, listen, your son is now 15, and my nephew this year is going to be 16.
I know, and I do a double take frequently when I take a look at him and realize that that's my boy.
We got to the bottom
of all of them.
I know. Ryan Folliard starts the bottom of the 6th. 2, 3, and 4 due for the, this is the only time I'm going to say it, the Lemont Engines here in the 6th.
Lemont
facing Binders, who came in relief. And the pitch to Folliard is outside for ball 1.
Lemont close to their 34th win of the season, 33-5 coming in.
Lemont this year is what Joliet Catholic was last year.
Very much so.
The windup in the 1-0, a swing and a tapper headed to the left side. Shortstop up with the long throw. Forget it.
First baseman had to dive to the left of the bag to try to stab it. Fortunately, didn't get very far away from him.
Joe Kennel couldn't come up with it, and Folliard was scooting down the line. So now another jackrabbit on the loose.
And Folliard's been on base all 4 times, 2 hits and 2 walks in this ballgame.
And guess who's in the batter's box?
I think he's kind of drooling after that first at bat. He's had some interesting opportunities. Left a couple runners on with a swinging strikeout to end the 4th, but
Mike Papersky would love to just
jock one out of here.
Yeah.
Jack it to right.
Or to center and clear the wall.
There is a wind.
The same way Corey Ray did last year at UIC.
It is kind of a crosswind, kind of blowing in from
it's blown
left
out
to right.
Blown out to the right. Papersky steps out of the box. Folliard at first, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th inning. 6-3. Lemont with the lead. And the pitch way outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The staff here hard at work getting us ready for the next game. A turn, throw to first,
Ooh,
and
that was
just
close.
does get back.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was close.
Boy, we've had some great pickoff moves from pitchers today.
Yeah, we have.
2 that have worked. A couple of them that have been awfully close.
Like that one. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch to Papersky way outside with a curveball, and the count's now 2-0.
It has worked for the lefty, not quite for the righties today.
Let me say hi to a dear friend of mine. His name is Keith Myers of the Indiana Sports Radio Network, checking us out from the capital city of Indianapolis.
Where they're going to have the state finals next weekend.
Victory Field.
SAA.
Victory Field next weekend. A swing and a drive into deep right field. The right fielder back at the track, at the wall, and that ball is gone!
It just got it just curved inside the
yes,
foul
it
pole.
did. It looked like it was going to go foul, and it stayed fair. And Mike Papersky with a 2-run home run. 8-3 Indians.
He got all of it. It was a question if it would stay fair, and it did.
Wow! Woo! I mean, that ball was blasted.
Boy, we've been waiting for that pitch all game, and sure enough, Papersky got all of it. A towering fly ball down the line just inside the foul pole, which I've always thought should be called the fair pole. just my opinion.
It's the truth. It's the truth. 8-3 Lemont, and unless a rally happens, they're going to play tomorrow morning for a state championship.
And here comes
And
Mike
the pitch
Wiz.
to Mike Wiz is swung on and fouled to the backstop for strike 1. 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Lemont. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Metamora. The latest hit for Lemont, a long 2-run home run by LSU-bound Mike Papersky to stretch the lead to 8-3.
And Toronto Blue Jays draft pick.
Here's Wiz with a swing and a drive into left field, but the left fielder will have room just as the track approaches. 1 down in the 6th.
Kind of lunged and got under that pitch. Hit it far, considering the type of swing he had on that pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So Wiz retired for only the second time in the ballgame. He winds up 2 for 4 rather.
Another friend of mine, Mike Hearn, out of Ohio, giving us a listen, and I believe we're going to have another change. And we're going to have at least a defensive switch. Nope, it's a left-handed pitcher that will come in, so we're going to step aside for 60 seconds. This pitching change brought to you by USTireandAuto.com, serving Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana since 1991. Mark will tell you the new pitcher after this.
At U.S. Tire and Automotive, you'll find passenger tires, performance tires, truck and SUV tires, and more from proven brands including Bridgestone, Firestone, and other leading industry names. Conveniently located in Gary, Indiana, and providing great service to customers in Gary, Griffith, Hammond, Munster, and Highland, Indiana, U.S. Tire and Automotive offers brake service, alignments, oil changes, shocks and struts, tune-ups, and other valuable services to get your car, truck, minivan, or SUV back on the road. Give us a call at 219-884-4600 or drop us an email at info@ustire-auto.com. Mention this ad and receive a 10% discount on auto work or ask about our tire specials. U.S. Tire and Auto, servicing Gary, Indiana and Northwest Indiana since 1991.
U.S. Tire and Auto pitching change brings us who, Mr. Farina?
It brings the left-hander Gabe Dean, the 6-foot junior left-hander. Comes in with a record of 2-1. This will be his 9th appearance on the season. 25 1/3 innings pitched, 24 hits, 9 earned runs, 7 walks, and he has struck out 16 with an ERA of 2.49 for the lanky left-hander.
Mention my buddy Keith Myers giving us a listen. Check out his website, folks, indianasrn.org. We and Indiana SRN are going to be teaming up to do a few things next year. So thank you, Keith, and the folks down in Indianapolis for giving us a tune-in. Jake Terrazas stands in to face Gabe Dean, and the pitch to Terrazas is a strike on the outside corner.
4 runs in the first inning for Lemont. They responded after Metamora had scored 2. They scored two more in the 5th, and now
great play by Ethan Skender.
that was a tough play because this wind is playing a little bit of trickery.
You think?
As we've gotten further into the game.
Nick Wiz.
Here's Nick Wiz.
And he is officially 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
And now we're going to have another change. So another call to the pen brought to you by U.S. Tire and Auto of Gary, Indiana. This time the break's only a half a minute. We'll tell you the new pitcher after this.
Quality products from Bridgestone, Firestone, and great service is what sets U.S. Tire and Automotive apart. Our service department specializes in brake service alignments and oil changes for customers just like you. Come pay us a visit at 3350 Grant Street in Gary, Indiana, or call 219-884-4600, or visit us online at ustire-auto.com.
Before Mark tells you who the new pitcher is, Keith Myers delivers a compliment when he says awesome about how we're sounding here this morning/afternoon here from Joliet. And now the U.S. Tire and Auto pitching change brings us
junior right-hander Braden Mann. He's a 5'9" junior and making his 13th appearance on the season, a record of 4-4, 44 innings pitched. He's given up 52 hits, 15 earned runs, 20 walks, 32 strikeouts, and a sparkling earned run average of 2.39. So Dean just faces one batter. He gets that batter, and Jake Terrazas.
You think Lemont kind of scared him today?
Well, I'll tell you what. Whatever momentum Metamora had with those 2 runs right off the bat in the first inning just got sucked right out of him.
With the 4-run response.
Yeah.
With the 4-run response.
And then
Here's the pitch to Wiz, swinging a foul on a play for strike one.
And then getting the first 2 runners on in the second inning and not being able to score, that's another deflating situation.
And then Lemont piles on with 2 in the 5th and 2 more here in the 6th. Here's a drive to right center field. Center field, a long way to go. That's going to drop for a base hit.
So Wiz gets his first hit of the ball game.
And I got 2 words for you about that hit. Bermuda Triangle.
That's right.
That's exactly where it ended up.
The right field Bermuda Triangle and, of course, the left field Bermuda
Yes,
Triangle.
indeed. Eric Tucker now stands in.
Tucker is 1 for 2 in the ballgame, or RBI single in the first. He also walked and scored in that 2-run 5th inning.
And the pitch to Tucker is outside for ball 1.
A walk that came with a runner on and 2 out. Key situation.
75th year of the Baseball State Finals being celebrated this year, the platinum anniversary. The pitch to Tucker is a breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike. And the count's 1-1.
And we point out this is the first time that Lemont's been to the Final Four, the semifinals.
Tucker swings at the next pitch and pops one up right side. Second baseman coming in on the dirt. He's got it, inning over. But Mike Papersky has put this game away with a long 2-run blast. 6 down, 1 to go. It is Lemont 8 and Metamora 3. This is the 2014 Class 3A State Semifinals from Silver Cross Field in Joliet. You're hearing it live here on the Arena Sports Network. Man.
There's at least one place in every community where neighbors still gather and civic pride flourishes. One endless source of inspiration. One night where history is made and the nation's future seems brighter than ever. There's at least one high school serving every community in Illinois, and if you're not in the stands, you're missing out. High school sports are a part of our state tradition, but it takes the support of the entire community to make it happen. Be a fan. Support your local high school's activity programs. This message is brought to you by the IHSA, celebrating more than 100 years of high school sports and activities in Illinois.
I can see both Mark's son Lewis and my little girl Donna bounce into this song. Hey, Mark, I got a question.
Yes.
When it's the 7th inning, what do we call that?
It's the money frame.
It's the money frame indeed, brought to you by Wood Forest Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Visit woodforest.com for more information. Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you from Silver Cross Field in Joliet.
Number 7, third baseman.
And we start the money frame, Caleb Brockbull against Charlie Wright, who's trying to go the distance. The pitch on the way is low for ball 1. Grays Lake Central and Sacred Heart Griffin out of Springfield due next. From the overhead line, the pitch on the way. Swinging a bouncing ball headed. Oh, what a stop. Wiz will pick it up. He won't even try to throw it. But a great job knocking it down by Garala. And it winds up an infield single for Brockbull.
Either way, it would have been a base hit to left, or in this case, a great diving attempt. That's hit number 5.
And the bad part is Garala nearly came up with that bad boy.
Exactly. So you got the bottom of the order here. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up.
Jacob Guide now stands in. As Wright kicks and deals, swinging a foul to the backstop, and the count's 0-1.
Guide is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Doubled in the second, but was left stranded and also flied out to left, both times in left field.
And that's a huge runner that the Redbirds have left on.
Well, Guide got on, then Guerrero, and then the pickoff.
A swing and a miss, and the count's 0-2, a high fastball.
And that will take the wind out of your sails, and then it happened again with a leadoff hit by Guerrero in the 5th, and he got picked off again for the second time.
0-2, swinging a bouncing ball headed towards second. Mike Wiz up with it, tossed to first in time. Snap throw back to second, and there is 1 out in the money frame.
So this will bring up, let's see if this is Kennel. Number 8.
It's going to be
Jimmy Salmon.
Jimmy Salmon.
So Salmon's going to come in to bat.
We don't make these names up, folks.
No, and I'll tell you what, I feel sorry for the young man Guerrero because a lot of folks were expecting him to pitch tomorrow in the championship game. He still wind up pitching tomorrow if they'd gotten to the championship game. But
running yourself out of innings does not help.
Yeah, it just is fatal, as we saw with Morgan Park. Morgan Park in that.
And that cost them 2 scoring frames
in their sectional
in the
semifinal.
Here's the windup and the pitch to Salmon. Swung on, foul to the backstop off to the right, and the count is.
By the way,
0-1.
we are in foul ball territory up here. We can get them. There is no screen, so
shut up.
Be aware of that.
You jinxed me already. Shut up.
Get the net out.
I know.
The last three
and protect the food. The 0-1. Fastball high, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Right.
How did I know you were going to do that to me?
It's just thought occurred to me.
Yeah, I know.
Even with the slight obstruction that we have visually.
Well, 1-1 is cut on and miss, and the count's 1-2.
Zach Zeiler, the right fielder, would be due up. No, take that back. This is Zeiler right here.
That's Salmon.
Yeah, that's Salmon. I'm sorry. I'm looking at something else.
Are you hungry?
I was just looking at his position.
Runner takes off for third. Pitch is called. Strike 3, and Papersky says, I don't even care about the runner. We want outs, and they got 2 of them right now.
So they're down to their final out, and this is Zach Zeiler, the center fielder who's 0 for 2 in the ball game, and the number 9 hitter.
And Zeiler will try to keep this game and inning going. If he does not, they'll play in the third place game with Metamora. The first pitch is a fastball strike, and you can hear the pop way up here from where we're sitting. Strike 1. The 0-1 on the way outside. The count's even 1 ball, 1 strike. After this game concludes, we're going to go tape some post-game interviews. So we'll be offline for a bit, and then Mark and I will come back with our normal pregame show. Next one, curveball inside corner. They'll appeal it first. No swing. The count's 2-1.
Peyton Burnett, the right fielder, is in the on-deck circle. Their leadoff hitter.
The 2-1, fastball high, and the count goes to 3-1.
You know the old saying, you got to get to a guy like Charlie Wright early.
Yep.
Any good pitcher. And they did get to him early, but not enough.
They had a chance to knock him out in the second. The 3-1, a swing and a drive to center field. This may do it. Center field camps under it, and the Lemont Indians will play tomorrow morning for the 3A championship. And Charlie Wright, after the first inning, made this look easy.
Absolutely.
Final score, the Lemont Indians 8 and the Metamora Redbirds 3. Both teams are not done playing, but the Redbirds will play in the early game tomorrow morning for the third place in 3A as the teams shake hands. Final totals on the board look like this for the Lemont Indians: 8 runs, 13 hits, 1 error. And for Metamora, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Charlie Wright gets the win, and Alex Lewis suffers the loss. And our U.S. Tire and Auto hit of the game, I'll give you one guess as to what that is.
Well, it's got to be Mike. Well, not only hit of the game, but hits of the game. Mike Papersky, who had 2 two-run hits, one a single in the first that got them back in the ball game, actually got them back in the game, tied the game at that point, and then that booming 2-run home run in the 6th, which pretty much iced it.
And our Subway star of the game?
Well, it's going to be Mike Papersky, but you got to also say
we'll
a
split
lot for
it.
Charlie Wright. Charlie Wright and Mike Papersky are players of the game.
That'll do it for our first game here from Joliet, Illinois. Grace Lake Central and Sacred Heart Griffin will come your way in about a half hour from now. So Mark and I will take a pause, and we will come back with game 2 of 4 that we have on this afternoon. One more time, your final: Lemont 8, Metamora 3. Mark Farina, Brian Snow here. We'll be back with game 2 of our quadruple header as we have the second of our Class 3A state semifinals, and you're home for the 2014 IHSA Baseball State Championship Series is the Arena Sports Network, online at arenasportsnet.com.